harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this epic making event at the University of Ibadan. It's our maiden conference of COSPAN Alumni Association.
When you talk of justice, you have to discuss justice within a given environment, so that it's not a free term. You must define justice within the economic situation of a country. That is why we must discuss the state of our affairs of our country. There's no justice in Nigeria. There's no peace in Nigeria. But there's no justice. You know, on a daily basis, people are attacked by terrorists in our country, bandits in our country, armed robbers, ritual murders, and other very wide criminal elements. If you are a victim, you will know that there is no peace in our country. Some parts of the country, students are regularly kidnapped, and to free them, you have to pay millions of naira. That is not a country that can talk of peace. And that is why I'm going to challenge you today. If you want justice, if you want peace, you must have justice. If you want justice in an oppressed country like our own, you must fight for it. Students, young people must stop destroying their future. Students must stop destroying their future by colluding with very corrupt politicians to trade off their future and their interest. A few years back, this university, a program of this nature could not be held in a small hall like this. Because at that time, young people were motivated to demand for their rights. And we must go back to that era. It's not, you have an election. People are distributing money. Collect 5,000 naira. For the next 4 or 8 years, your future is destroyed. But in those days, students will have even arrested some of those politicians and hand them over to the police. But not now. Students, young people are willing to be part of the loot instead of asking questions. That the wealth of our country, if you want justice to be done, is enough to take care of all of us. So when they tell you that our country is broke or that our country is poor, please, and I'm challenging you, I beg you, our local governments, our state government, the federal government, we must find out. When they read the budget every year, in every community, we must have a monitoring committee to monitor the execution of the budget. Very soon now, they are going to present another budget. Whereas, the very interesting disclosure last year in the 2024 budget is that every senator had allocated to his constituents at least 500 million naira. They call it constituency project. Now, I'm challenging you now. Before they present another budget next month, please invite your senator and House of Rep members. Please Where are the projects that you collected 500 million for on our behalf? The one of the Senate president was 4 billion naira in 1 year. Very soon now, they are going to distribute, that's in addition to their jeeps. Each of them got an SUV worth 160 million naira. I'm talking of the senators and the House of Rep members. 409, 469. That is not to talk about of the fact that they are collecting 21 million naira per month. The senator in Nigeria, where workers are being asked to take 70,000 naira a month.
I said, stop addressing our problem. Let us undress them. There's a difference between addressing and undressing. When you address, you cover up. You put new clothes upon the problem. When you undress, you remove the thing, and let's see what the problem is. Let us undress our problems rather than addressing them. That's what we've been doing all these years. Is the word common? Look at the figures. 3%, about 133 million Nigerians are in a state of multi-dimensional poverty. We can take it from anywhere. They can't feed, can't go in the bed, they don't have housing, they have all those kind of things. 86 million in the north, and we have 47 in the south. Whereas governance led us, 1 out of 167 countries with the economic intelligence, Nigeria ranks as 104 at the bottom. When you're looking at the issue of the greed election, insecurity, resource wasting, and corruption, I'm going to talk about that. How technology savvy are we? It says out of 113 of them, Nigeria is the last 113 when they rank people according to number one is the best. And then look at the number one there. Out of 8 out of 7 countries, there are 99% of. We have that only place where Nigeria done well. Nigeria is one of the best countries with the number of cell phones by individual. Can you eat your cell phone? Can your cell phone take your children to school? Can your cell phone put you on this thing? That's where we are number one. Irrelevant, irresponsible, unnecessary kind of thing. That's where Nigeria comes first. Now, anti-social justice. The 120 of 142 countries, in terms of rule of law, by the World Justice Project, Nigeria has 120. So back to what it is. Let's pick back to it. I remember they talked about this thing. I remember that a flag shall be a symbol, a banner without stain, a nation where no man is oppressed, blessed with peace and plenty. But is that what we have? It does not. Like you said, a country that cannot think. Like you said, this was given to us by foreign whatever. We changed to something else. Instead of thinking of our own, let's find our own, we went back. You know what they say? The dog went back to its vomit. That's what Nigeria has done. We went back to our vomit. So we discarded that one. We had something else, we came back to it. So begin to think, it's your country. I have fewer time to spend. By the grace of God, you will live more than myself. But I don't want to live as much as I say because it's too late now. So if I even live as him, God gives me 10 more years. It's going to give you 20, 30, 40 more. What are you going to do after my 10 years? It's your country. And that's what he was telling you. Get out there and fight all those people. Make up your mind. You have no need to be. I got into UR in 1971, and I know what he was talking about. The kind of people that were here then. Things before. Today, I pledge Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. How can you be loyal and honest to something that is disloyal to you? People quote John Kennedy. He says, you know, ask what your country can do for you. Bullshit. His country has already done something for him before that one. Go and look at the history of John Kennedy. When his boat was torpedoed by other thing, the whole army of the United States went after there to save him. So why will you not say, do not ask what your country can do? What has Nigeria done for you? And then you say, do not ask your country. Which you ask the country, do something for me, then I'll do. What is the need for me? What is the need for me being a Nigerian? If I can't get anything, and then you ask me, ask what your country can do for you. Which country are you talking about? You don't have a country. To defend our unity, uphold our honor and glory. So I guess, no, go ahead, don't worry, just go on. That's one of the things I'm saying. Now we're getting, go on to the next one. So I said, stop addressing your problem, undress them. People are ashamed to be undressed. Most importantly, the big people who are killing us, we are addressing them. We see them on the TV. My president is going to the toilet. That's the headline news. The wife is in the garden, talking, whatever. That's the headline news. He has bought a new Escalade, what's the name of that car? That's the big news. That the people have no food. People are suffering. It's not part of the news. That's the country that we're in. You are not the country. They are the country. You are the one they use to become the country. Let's move on to the next slide. You remember when I said Andre, there was a story of a masquerade who was knocked down and then was taken to the hospital. And he said, no, I wrote you ego. So how are they going to treat him if he doesn't undress? How are we going to know what story he has? Nigeria is that masquerade that has been knocked down. We are now in the hospital. You say, don't undress us. How will you know what problem we have?
I want to talk about different types of access. There is political access, there is economic access, there is educational access, there is financial access, there is, so there are different types of access. And then we are going to focus mainly on education access. And when we are talking about education access, we want to ask ourselves, what are the types of access in education? The types of access, levels and grades and measures of access. There is equitable access, there is equal access, there is pre-primary access, there is primary access, then there is secondary access, then there is tertiary or higher education access. So all these constitute types and forms of access. Now, unless you have access, you have political access of inclusion, the people are going to revolt. They are, at a time, they are going to say enough is enough, and that will be the end. It will collapse. So when we are asking for equitable access, we are trying to save ourselves the problem and the challenges that will come if access is denied. Now, in most of the countries of the world, what has happened is that governments have been wise enough to ensure that there is equitable access to prevent even revolutions. In 1914 to 1917 in Russia, when there was limited access, what then happened was that they had to force away the government and bring one that will give them equitable access. So once you deny access, there is danger. So we must ensure that to prevent danger, we offer access. And then in addition to that, once there is access, then there is a lot of value. There is information sharing, there is satisfaction, there is the investment of everyone in the process of development in the countries concerned. This was what happened in Cuba when there was a level, fair level form of access where every individual was given knowledge in reading and writing and in patriotism. And that's why you have in Cuba up to today, a young Cuban will stand up and say, I am a Cuban, I am interested in Cuba, I can die and fight for Cuba. That has to be the example that everyone wants to have in countries all over Africa and all over Nigeria. Now, let me now go to the next level. The enemies of access. The enemies of access may be funding. The enemies of access may be ideological. In other words, the capitalism, which is saying, I for myself and my family, we will live in abundance and we don't bother about other people. There is danger in that. But if you can ideologically accept sharing. You can accept giving back. And that is why I want to commend COSFAN. COSFAN has given this idea of people who are trained abroad, who come back and who decide not to leave whatever they have benefited from inside their own pocket, but to share it. And when sharing it, they arrange fora for sharing, platforms for sharing, such as the one we have now had. In my own session, this session, you can imagine what COSFAN has done, bringing Femi Falana, my brother, by the way, all the way, and you rarely see him anywhere, but you have seen him this morning. And then, of course, Wale Tomori, my old colleague and fellow alumnus of University of Ibadan. And there we are, wanting to give back. It must be a philosophy. Everyone must want to invest and give back. But when you are only hiding it and you are not offering access to others, there is real danger. And then the second danger, the second enemy of access are the political class that would rather want to feed fat, earn fat, and give and enjoy and have houses and yachts and so on. This was what happened in June 1789 in Paris, when Queen Maria Antoinette was living fat. And so the people of Paris decided to walk the 10 miles from Paris right down to Versailles, where the palace was. They arrested her. They arrested her butcher. They arrested her baker. They arrested the baker's wife. And they marched all of them all over to Paris, center of Paris, where they guillotined them. Guillotine means to chop off the head. They chop the head off, and then they guillotine the king, then they guillotine the queen, then they guillotine the children, and then they set up a republic. They said enough was enough. That is what you call the French Revolution.
Innovation and entrepreneurship are not just the driving forces behind economic growth. They are the cornerstones of social change and inclusion. And in today's interconnected world, the ability to think creatively, adapt to technological advancements, and develop solutions that address real-world problems become more critical than ever. And for countries like Nigeria, where there is a significant portion of the population is falling as having the highest demographic to be youth and, of course, women, there's no better time than now to talk about innovation and entrepreneurship. The youthful population, very energetic, no doubt foster innovation and entrepreneurship in a very diverse ways. With as I mentioned earlier, with significant portion of the population being youth and energetic, fostering innovation and entrepreneurship among them holds immense potential for creating an inclusive society, which transcends barriers of poverty, inequality, and unemployment. Innovation and entrepreneurship are powerful tools that transform societies. In today's rapidly evolving world, marked by technology, there is a dire need for us to invest in our young people and give them the enabling environment to thrive, for them to be able to support the country in a way that is going to be, in a way that is going to address the present socio-economic challenges that have become paramount. These conversations, I'm going to draw insight from recent global conversations, such as the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, that was the 79th one that was recently concluded. There was lots of emphasis on youth, technology, and innovation. And this greatly resonated with global leaders as critical pathways to sustainable development. This paper explores the intersection of innovation, entrepreneurship, and inclusivity, looking at how these forces can be harnessed to build a society that is inclusive, where opportunities are equitable, accessible, and sustainable, especially among our women and youths. As we gather at the Commonwealth Scholars and Fellows Alumni Association, at this international conference with the theme Reimagining an Inclusive Society, where governance, technology, and social justice, it is crucial to address how we can leverage innovation and entrepreneurship to foster sustainable growth, empower marginalized communities, and create more equitable social structures. So let's take a look at innovation as a key to inclusive development. Innovation refers to the creation of new ideas, methods, and technologies that solve existing problems or create new opportunities. Historically, societies have embraced innovation and they have seen significant improvement in the quality of life, education, healthcare, and economic prosperity. However, you all agree with me that the distribution of these benefits has not always been equitable. Often, it leaves some people behind, some are marginalized, and most especially in Nigeria today, women, our youth, people in underserved communities, particularly the rural ones, do not get to benefit as much as they should. In reimagining an inclusive society, innovation must be approached through the lens of inclusivity. This means fostering environments where diverse voices contribute to the development of new ideas and solutions. Technology, for example, has the power to democratize access to education, health services, and economic opportunities. These we have clearly seen demonstrated in the way technology is being used in schools all over Nigeria today. However, to ensure that technology does not deepen the existing divide, we must prioritize inclusive design and access, particularly for the underserved populations. This includes addressing the digital divide, promoting digital literacy, and ensuring that marginalized communities can participate in the digital economy. In the context of governance, policymakers play a critical role in creating ecosystems that nurture innovation and ensure its equitable distributions. Government must implement policies that encourage investment in research and development, provide incentives for innovation in underserved sectors such as agriculture and education, and facilitate the scaling of social innovations that directly impact disadvantaged populations. Entrepreneurship, when we take a look at it as a pathway to empowerment, it serves as a dynamic pathway to personal and collective empowerment. Entrepreneurs are key agents of change. I am one myself, and I know the impact I've been making in my community, creating jobs, driving economic growth, and addressing societal challenges through market-based solutions. In an inclusive society, entrepreneurship can play a pivotal role in bridging economic disparities and empowering marginalized groups.
The private courts are court cases that involve disputes between family members, for example, parents and relatives. And the cases are not between family members and government agencies. So this is usually between two parents, and it's usually to ascertain where a child should live, who the child should see, where they should go to school, or the religion or medical treatment that they are given. Now, some of the systemic issues that exist in the family courts, there are quite a lot. I'll try to be brief, but so children are not actually directly involved in the process a lot of the time, and their views are represented either by the parents or professionals. And so the children are rarely consulted, and indeed they're not consulted after an order has been made. So this can lead to unsafe and ineffective child arrangements. And there's a lack of resource that can limit how much children are involved in proceedings. And there's also a pro-contact culture approach. So children who want to have contact with the person they don't live with, the parent they don't live with, are heard more often than those who do not want to. So there's a lot of silo working in this system. So the courts don't engage effectively with other organisations that have strong relationships with the child. There's a lot of complexity, so it can be difficult to understand and represent a child's views. And there are significant backlogs and delays in these systems. And there are high numbers of litigants in person. And this is because of cuts to legal aid, so support with legal representation. So lots of people are representing themselves in these complex systems. Victim survivors of domestic abuse often feel re-traumatized by the process and feel they're not taken seriously in the courts. And the court process can be used as a tool of prolonged abuse by ex-partners to continue the abuse. And these cases are not effectively triaged. So what happens in these cases? So first, I need us to recognise that the courts, while working in a silo, they actually are a reflection of the broader patriarchal systems and societies that we live in. So the global United Nations Gender Social Norms Index, which covers, I think it's 85% of the world's population, has repeatedly found that 9 out of every 10 men and women in most countries hold biases against women. So what this means is that we live and work in systems where women are treated less equitably than men, and children are treated even less equitably than men and women. So this is a highly monetized system because families can be charged hundreds of thousands of pounds over many years for legal and expert fees. Now, many of these experts that are instructed in these cases are not regulated in any way. So what's the problem with this? Well, a huge problem is many of these experts subscribe to pseudoscientific concepts. There's no way to seek redress about these decisions when the experts are not regulated. So if you wanted to make a complaint about a doctor, a medical doctor, in the UK, you would go to the British Medical Council, but there's nowhere to complain about these pseudo-experts. So one of the pseudosciences that they use is something called parental alienation. Now, there's no globally agreed definition of this, but it's allegedly when one parent convinces a child to falsely claim the other parent has abused them or to reject that parent. It comes from parental alienation syndrome, and this was developed by American child psychiatrist Richard Gardner, who self-published all of his work and argued problematically that children are naturally sexual and initiate sexual encounters to seduce adults. You can see this is really very problematic position that he came from. So he developed this theory to justify his position that if a father is sexually abusing a child, it's more harmful to remove the child from that father than the sexual abuse is.
I'd like to remind us about the relevance of agriculture in Nigeria. And of course, we know that agriculture actually contributes to our economy, and it contributes more than 25% to our national GDP, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. It is through agriculture that we have food security, we have looming population, and we actually need food to actually sustain the population. Agriculture is also a source of export, as agriculture is actually putting us on the global map, while we also earn foreign exchange for this export. Even with that, agriculture also happens to be the largest employer of people in the country and providing livelihood. Many households and individuals depend on it for livelihood. It's reported that we have more than 60% of our population engaged in agriculture. This is also a source of raw material for industry, and particularly around rural development. Agriculture is important because the rural environments are actually largely engaged in agricultural activity, and the development in agriculture means rural development, or perhaps the development of rural development will also impact on agricultural development. Talking about economic growth also, as I said earlier, agriculture provides foreign exchange and also economic growth to us. However, we have challenges. These are actually the challenges that we face in the Nigerian agricultural sector. It is estimated that our population might be reaching about 400 million, kind of doubling by 2050. It's an estimation, but we know that we have many mouths to feed, and it's increasing every day, considering our youthful population who are agile and still reproducing at a rapid rate. Also, there is actually pressure to the agricultural production industry for us to actually produce more food so that we can be able to meet with this growing population and industrial need. So, but in the context of this, we are facing challenges such as low crop yield, some of which are as a result of inefficient water usage, high labor cost, pest and disease infestation, environmental impact of such like climate change and all that. So we need a solution. So what can we do to actually bring it solution? What can we do to actually be able to meet our food demand, present and also future? Not only for us, but also our food industry. So now I'll talk about the role of science and technology in transforming agriculture. Science is actually a specialized discipline where we need to acquire, we acquire knowledge, ask questions, and we're able to find solutions, right? So, and technology, as simple as it is the application of the science, right? So the principles of science to be able to create products, to be able to make improvement, improved means to be able to promote it. Yeah. So one of the ways that technology is transforming agriculture would be through precision agriculture. And that is actually some of the things that I do. Precision agriculture goal is to actually see that we ensure efficient profitability and sustainable agricultural operations while we are actually reducing the impact of the environment. So simply saying that trying to optimize productivity, we're trying to optimize productivity when we are not impacting on the environment, sustainability and profitability, working together. And we can be able to use modern technologies to be able to deliver on precision agriculture. So not to actually waste time. So these are actually advantages of precision agriculture, ensuring efficient operation and profitability, better decision making, risk management, and improve profitability, because a baseline for every farmer, agriculture is a business, not a charity endeavor, primarily. So it's a business. So this is actually one of the ways precision agriculture enabled by technologies and science can be able to deliver to us. So I would just use the case of drone technology for agriculture. With drone technology, we now helping farmers to scout their field to be able to quickly detect pests and diseases as one of the challenges they actually face. Pests and diseases are actually increasing every day, and not just natural. Not just that it happens. Climate change is also one of the contributors, as we have increase in temperature. Pests and disease like insect pests are also, rapidly multiplying because they actually have higher temperature that then increase their fertility. Now, but we need technologies, we need solutions that can be able to mitigate or fight against this pest and disease as efficient and sustainable as possible. So with drone technology, farmers now, instead of while applying crop protection products to protect their investment, they can be able to apply these crop protection products in the shortest time possible.
Yeah. Don't sleep, wake up. Collect your money. Wake up. Collect your money. Wake up. Get go get the moolah. Wake up. Koniko kala. Don't walk, you don't try. You supposed to dey jai. Kilo come, person matter, person we don't mind. But when I land softly on the sofa floor. So far so good, koni bajo, let me see you. Go lo, let me There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
There are people dying.
Oh, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all.
Oh, we can go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all part of God's great big family.
And the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
There's a choice to make it. We're saving our own lives.
It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me.
Well, send them your heart so they know that someone cares, and their lives will be stronger and free.
As God's shown us by turning stone to bread, and so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones to make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. It's you who make a better day, just you and me.